What's up? We here. Best time of the day. Um, Taking a little road trip, like a 2-hour drive at this point. But I just decided to pause. I got maybe like halfway through. And I wanted to get my camera, but my camera was way in my suitcase, so I just decided to make it really on the go and capture it on my iPhone like I've done previously, and just get a different element, a different energy. It's more easier to transfer into social media as well, but that's besides the point. The reason why I pulled over is because as I was driving, I was just listening to so much music, and every song, it like brings me to a certain part of my life. I was listening to it on my iPod, so for the most part, a lot of that music was older. And then, I had a session of listening to my song, and I was just like, wow, I'm so honored to be able to express myself like a lot of these other artists, and also be able to build memories through my experience. And I thought about like my experience, like how it's unfolding, and how it may be perceived to other people that aren't living it. And that's the reason to give thanks for the most part, because I do see very clearly that I'm staying above water, and I'm also gaining wisdom that I feel I can take forever, and that's limitless, and that's the true currency in that point, because you can create. But one thing I wanted to mention is that it's not necessarily about your life. Like a lot of times I read up and research just success, the concept of success, and people that were successful, and one of the biggest things that I realized is that they dedicate themselves to something outside of themselves, and that's what drives this form of success. But it's interesting because your intention behind it should be something that you feel can positively affect other people too, like you're doing of service, but it's just not selfish at all. And being a woman like myself, where I'm not in a relationship and I don't really have obligations besides the fact of me developing myself, which is not easy, and it is an obligation. But the purpose of that is, me mentioning that, is to say, like, you'll be surprised. Like a toe man. I don't fuck with toe people at all, bro. I really don't. Oh, that's AAA though, so we fuck with AAA. Yeah, but with me not having obligations, I could say that I can be a lot more free. I don't have those bases of what a lot of people would be like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, or whatever the case may be. I have to supply for someone outside of myself. And with that, I also wanted to mention and clarify the fact that, listen, it's not easy to have the option to do everything. Sometimes it's an easier option to not have it, and then you can say you wish you would have done it. A lot of people get to play that role, but at the end of the day, I'm grateful for the role that I will be able to play. It's just about making sure that everything that you do in your life is something that you would be comfortable with. A lot of times when you're trying to drive towards a certain type of path, especially a path where it's not as much guidance as you would want, like it's not a whole freaking curriculum about that subject, even though it always is. But like, as far as like being an entrepreneur, you can't go to school to be an entrepreneur, because that's defeating the purpose, even though they tell you could go to school for business. But business is a pyramid regardless. So it's a lot of people talking. What would make me different? Why people, I believe, should listen to me? Because I don't have nothing to prove. I'm just expressing. So you'd be surprised what you could relate to. And that's just how I feel about it. And if you have the option to put it out there, why not share it? Why keep it to yourself? It didn't come from you, so continue that process of allowing it to transform into other perspectives. You never know what you can influence. So That's what it's about. Let me get back on the road though. Let's take this in. We have rest stops that a lot of people don't even go to. This rest stop is not even complete, but has a lot of potential. Just like me, give thanks.